Sorry, guys. So let's keep on reading. The crowd went, ew, and there was a ton of laughter after the crowd settled down. George threw his egg. It was perfect. His partner didn't have to move an inch, and it floated right into his hands. The crowd cheered and slapped and clapped like a bunch of excited monkeys. Our drama teacher put his hand up. Okay, now both teams must throw at the same time. The crowd went wild again. We all took a step back, and Zelda was so far away, she was a blur. I looked at George and back at Zelda. I put my hands up in time to gesture like they do in the sports games. Time out, I shouted. I heard the crowd yelling, "Hey, you can't do that. Hurry up, throw it." I ran to the middle of the field and gestured for George to meet me. He ran. "What's up?" he said. So I'm moving down. "Listen, I don't think I can catch the egg. I can't see it." And I said, "Let's make a deal. If you catch the egg, then you give me your pass to sports camp, and I'll give you my pass to Splash World." I could tell he wasn't going to go for it, so I added, "And I'll loan you any of my video games. You can have it for a whole month." George rolled his eyes. "Poof, only one?" "Okay, two," I said. George put his hand up to his chin and lightly stroked it. "Yeah, but what if you do catch the egg? Then I'll give you my Splash World pass. Then I'll give you my Splash World pass, my pass to Splash World, and my pass to the sports camp." "And the video games?" George grinned. "Yes, yes, you can still borrow them." George put out his hand, and we shook on it. "What a deal! It's a deal," he said. And he ran back to my position, and I rubbed my sweaty arms on my shirt and nodded. Zelda took a step back and threw the egg like a football. It was It was a perfect spiral, but it was going too fast. I had to step back just as it touched my hands. I tripped over my feet. The egg went through me. They looked a little confused. But we thought you wanted to go to the Splash World," said Mom. "Well, yeah, but Zelda is going to sports camp, and she might need a partner," I said. My hands and me, and I don't think this part makes sense, and my forehead. Then there was egg all over me. So at the end of it, guys, they win. They both get the passes, and that was basically, you guys can read on to the end, but that was basically the end of the story. But let's go back to the question I asked you to think about as I was reading. So I'd like you to think about what characters were at the forefront and at kind of the author held them in like the center stage. And then there were some characters that didn't quite have the spotlight, but were in the story, but they weren't in the spotlight. And then there were some characters that were completely off center. So when we're thinking about characters and their position in scenes and trying to figure out who's holding the most power and who has the most control in the scene, we have to make some kind of a diagram or a plan in our head to figure out what characters hold the most importance at center stage and what characters sit kind of like at the back seat, but we know that they're there, but they really don't impact the story. So as I was thinking about those questions, I thought to myself, Zelda was playing the game with Alfonso, but there really was a deal that Alfonso was making with George. So I thought to myself, was the author trying to really highlight the way that they were playing, trying to win the contest, or was the author trying to highlight a decision that was made by Alfonso? I think the author was paying more attention to Alfonso's character than Zelda actually winning um, the passes. So when I thought about those questions, I thought about it and made this chart. So it's called a flash sketch. And when so I named all the characters in the scene, and I thought to myself, well, Alfonso and George really are center stage because I see that Alfonso makes a really daring decision and he takes control of the situation and says, well, I really know that Zelda wants those tickets. So he made an effort to make sure that his partner Zelda was able to get those passes. Because as you can see during the reading, they were about to lose because he couldn't see. He was having trouble seeing the egg. So he went to George saying, hey, if you help me win, then I'm going to be able to get those splash passes. So Alfonso really took control. So this is the sketch, and I would like you guys to follow it. I'll see you in the meeting.